Hey, what's up guys, Sid here and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm gonna show you some beginner progressions to develop the Inlocate. So the Inlocate is a high level flexibility skill that we do in gymnastics. This is a skill that requires huge amount of shoulder extension. So this is not an easy skill to learn, and it's going to take some time to develop the flexibility to do this skill. So in this video I'm going to show you some beginner to intermediate exercises that you can use to start to develop the Inlocate. But in this video we are going to focus on the Inlocate on the rings. So the first step in this tutorial is going to be the table stretch. So the table stretch is a very simple and beneficial exercise that you can use to improve your flexibility in your chest, your biceps and your shoulders. So you're basically going to have your hands and feet at about shoulder width apart. You're going to have your fingers turned backwards. You're going to retract the scapula, open up the chest, squeeze the glutes and push your hips as high up towards the ceiling as you can. A way to make this exercise more difficult is by pushing the shoulders forward. So you're basically going to lean towards your feet, and this is going to make the exercise more difficult on your shoulders. And the emphasis on this exercise is to always keep the hips as high as possible. The goal is to have them in line with your shoulders and your knees. So the next exercise is quite similar to this one. We're going to keep our hands behind our back, fingers pointing backwards as before, and the goal here is to keep the hands as close together as we can. And then the goal is simply to slide as far forward as you can and get the hands as far behind you as possible. This exercise can be quite demanding on the elbows, so if you experience any pain in the elbows, then go back slightly and perform the exercise at a comfortable level. So on this exercise it's extremely important to keep the elbows locked at all times. So you really want to try and make your body as long as possible and get the shoulders as close to the floor as possible. If the exercise gets too difficult for you, then you can simply just put your hands further away from each other. And if the exercise gets too easy, then you can just put them closer together. So the next step is going to be more specific towards the Inlocate. So we're going to do a standing shoulder extension with a stick. I recommend that you start with just the stick, or about 1 kilogram, since this is going to be a new movement pattern for you. So I recommend that you learn the exercise first and then you can add some weight to it. So in this exercise you will keep the legs locked, keep the elbows locked. You're going to start with the stick behind you and you're going to go down towards a standing pike stretch. Then you're going to lift the stick above you, get the stick in front of you and go down as far as you can. On this exercise it's important that you keep the fingers pointed forward. You don't want to keep them pointed backwards, since that is going to make the exercise drastically more difficult. And then you will simply just hold this position for a certain amount of time, or you can perform it in reps where you go back and forth. Just like with the previous exercise, you can adjust the difficulty by adjusting your grip. So if you want it to be harder, then you can put your hands closer together, and if you want it to be easier, you can just put your hands further apart. The goal with this exercise should be to get your hands to the floor. This is going to be really difficult, and it's going to take some time to develop that kind of flexibility. As I mentioned before, you want to make sure that you really can do the exercise before you start to add weight to the exercise. So once you master this exercise with the stick, you want to add about 1 to 5 kilograms to the stick, and then you're going to perform the same exercise, but you're going to use a quite wide grip on this one. You're going to go down as far as you can, and this time the goal is to perform a Inlocate with the stick. You might not be able to do this at first, but if you keep practicing this drill, you're going to get further down each time, and eventually you're just going to be able to perform the Inlocate with the stick. This exercise you can repeat for reps, so going from Inlocate and back to the starting position, and repeat this for a certain amount of reps, and that is really going to help you develop that shoulder extension for the Inlocate on rings. So the next step is going to be the German hang. So in this video I'm just going to show you two variations. I'm going to show you a tuck and a straight. This exercise can be quite difficult to master, and I'm going to do a individual video on mastering the German hang. Simply, you just want to get started with the exercise in a tucked position. You want to go down as far as you can and hold this, and the same as with the other ones, you can perform this in reps, going from the start position to your deepest position, or you can simply just hold it in the bottom position. In the beginning, you really want to make sure to squeeze your shoulders and keep them tense the entire time. And as you get more advanced and you get deeper down into the German hang, you can start to practice relaxing into the stretch. You can also use a box or something to stand on to make this drastically more easy. And then you just want to spend time in this position and get closer and closer to doing the full German hang. Now lastly, I'm gonna show you one of the more specific exercises to develop the Inlocate. So you're gonna do these on the low rings, so you want to be able to stand and hold the rings at the same time. So you want to start with the rings in front of you, and then you want to bring them out to the side and eventually get them behind you into a German hang where your feet are supported on the floor, and then you want to go back to the position with the rings in front of you. And the goal here is to get the rings closer and closer together each time, so that you don't bring them out to the side as much. And to make it more difficult, you can sit down onto the floor and get more pressure on the shoulders and use the feet less to support yourself. And then you're gonna repeat the same movement, going back to the standard position with the rings in front of you. So guys, that was all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed these exercises for the Inlocate, and be on the lookout for that German hang video. I'm gonna make sure to post that soon. And if you want to get some training programs or training courses to learn skills like the handstand, the press handstand, or the muscle up, then check out the link in the description for my website. And if you want to see more videos, then please subscribe and like this video, and